Exactly. You know what? It's not your typical spin class. I feel with the music lesson, I feel like an Olympic athlete already, which, by the way, Gina and yourself are. So we're going to learn how to train like the pros, right?
That's right. So we've got Gina up here, my partner Gina Green. She went to Beijing for track, and this is our setup at TAG.
Now I've got a spin class. I'm not saying this compares to that at all because I have a feeling it doesn't. The bike itself looks different, but let's talk a bit about the shoes as well here. Tell me what I'm wearing here. I mean, I'm all clipped in because I couldn't get in there easily. Let's talk about the shoes.
Okay, so we have a number of different options. So part of the personalization at TAG is that you can come in and choose your shoe and your pedal system that you might use on your own bike.
Okay.
So a lot of these riders are using, say, a Shimano road cleat. This is a more familiar to a lot of people that have just been to a spin class.
And so the idea is that it keeps you basically solid in the pedal, right?
Well, being clipped in allows you to generate a proper circle and learn a proper pedal stroke.
Let's talk about the bike. What's different about this bike than what someone might assume as being a part of a spin class, for instance?
Well, these Cyclops bikes are much more adjustable, and the way they generate power is from what you're actually doing on the bike.
Okay.
So they don't have a weighted wheel in the back. They don't help you. They don't assist you. So it's actually, they're a little bit harder to get the grasp of in the beginning, but they're way better for teaching you the actual elements.
And of course, Gina right now is doing some instruction. There is a set program. We've also got the screen though. So is this all part of the visualization that's going to help us train like potentially an elite athlete that we all, I'm assuming, can be?
Absolutely. Whether people are coming in just for fitness or they have goals, they have objectives, and they're training for those, we're working towards it, doing all this.
And we will work towards that all morning long, Jody. For more information on TAG Cycling, you can go to their website. But there is a proper way to pedal that will basically give us the most amount of efficiency, and we're going to learn how to do that coming up. Yeah, it's like I'm getting the training wheels off. I have to say, I've never ridden a bike like an elite athlete, but today we are all learning it. And Jody, coming up next, we're going to learn the proper way to pedal. But let's check out who's here. Thomas Haas. How's his form, Jody?
Oh, well done. Hello, Thomas. Now we know how he stays so fit. It's all that delicious chocolate.
Yeah, and how does he stay so slender and in such good shape despite all the pastries, all the chocolate, all the coffee with all that cream and sugar? Well, we're talking about Thomas Haas. This is where he stays fit. We're here at TAG Cycling in North Vancouver. And Leslie, we are going to break down that perfect pedal because I want to be in good shape like Thomas Haas. And like you, by the way, former Olympian. So we're learning from the best here today. But let's break it right down.
Okay, well, what we work on in here a lot is your circle. Okay. 360 degrees. Most people just punch their pedals up and down. But what we want to teach you is to push into the pedal, get a full circle, and you can actually get 20 to 30% more efficiency just by that alone.
Okay.
So before we even start on your fitness.
So let's work on that. It's a combination of what?
Pushing with the ball into the front of the pedal stroke, wiping it on the bottom like you're wiping your shoe on a mat, pulling up at the back.
And pulling up, that's something that a lot of people don't think to do, and I can actually feel that even in my hamstring.
And you're driving up, almost bringing your knee up to the handlebar, and then into the forward part of the circle.
Okay, so let's assume I've done really well, just like these people here. And speaking of these people, everyone appears to be working very, very hard, but is everyone working out at the same level?
Well, no, we actually set personal levels by doing a little ramp test. So everybody in here, they're not just working with vague numbers. They've worked at a little test that gives them a power number so that they can actually be working effectively at around depending on the different exercises, different numbers, but they have their own numbers that they're working on.
So we're dealing with perceived exertion and also something called cadence. Is that the same as pace, just briefly?
Well, cadence and the gear are what generate power. Okay. And perceived effort, we also spend some time. They've got numbers. They actually learn what that is. But perceived effort is also how they learn to translate it to how they feel.
Well, so far I feel okay, but mind you, I haven't been working out very hard. Perhaps I need one of Thomas's croissants, but before I do that, Jody, I better work out a bit harder. For more details on TAG Cycling,
shoulders down, relax,
you can go to the website. She's always coaching, always coaching. I decided to get off the bike here and see the real professionals at work here. Leslie, let's talk a little bit about the coaching aspect here at TAG Cycling. We've got our good friend Thomas Haas, who clearly indulges in the chocolates and the pastries, and yet amazingly fit. If you were to coach someone, you're disputing this?
No, this is the only reason why I come here.
Just so you can eat the chocolate?
So I can eat more chocolates, yeah.
Exactly. So if you were to coach someone like Thomas, what would you have to say about what he's doing here?
Well, Thomas actually has ridden a bike a lot, and so he's got a good position, he's comfortable. Mostly what we have to do is try and get him to reel it back, because he eats so much chocolate that he's constantly obsessed with pushing as many watts as he can for the entire workout.
And one of the things that you do is you coach people, but you also invite people of different disciplines, and I know that there's a gal right on the end. We're calling her a junior. She's a young adult.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what she is benefiting from. She is what, a runner naturally?
Well, Nicole is one of the best junior runners in the province. She won the cross-country BC High School Championship. So this is new for her, being on the bike. Her position, it will probably change a little bit as she starts to get used to cycling.
So a runner would typically be in what kind of position that's sort of opposite of what she should be?
They just tend to like to be a little bit more forward on the bike. They're not comfortable with being bent over. Same with the Aiden and Hart here who have rowed. Rowing does use a lot of leg. A lot of people don't realize that, but they may not be comfortable yet with being in this more aero position that you see some of the other people who cycle along.
And then, of course, there are added benefits as well. Now, I understand that, you know, for you it's a lot about fitness, but there are also other health benefits for you as well, right?
Yeah, just staying fit for life kind of thing. My average heart rate is down around, resting heart rate's around 40, so it really helps your cardiovascular system.
Excellent, and I understand cholesterol lowering is another added benefit as well, your wife, right?
My wife's cholesterol's down.
Yeah. There you go, so lots of benefits here. They do offer coaching for all different disciplines, all different, you know, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, whatever you like to have there, Michelle. They can help you work it off here at Tag Cycling. For more details on their coaching programs, and again, the special training that they have here, you can go to their website. Yeah, you'll feel powerful here at Tag Cycling as we're trying to learn some great cycling tips. I got to ask you one quick question, Thomas. My butt's hurting. I thought the extra padding would have given me a little bit of an advantage here, maybe not so much?
In the olden days, they put stakes in there. So, and apparently it worked.
Really?
Yeah, but I also want to give you a tip. If you're breathing so hard, I can push you a little bit.
There we go. You just like a little massage might be nice. That might work better for me. Lots more coming up, Jody. Coming up just after 8:30.
If you need to hop off and take a little bit of a breather, you're going to like what's coming up next, because it's a group of guys that you have sang with before, Dawn.
You know, you talk about bringing the speed down on the city streets. We don't want to bring the speed down here, do we? We want to actually keep it going at a good pace, correct?
That's right. We want to try and maximize what we can do by learning a little bit of leg speed.
Now, for anyone that's heading out there, whether they're going mountain biking or on their 10 speed or whatever, what do we need to know about the different disciplines?
Well, I think the principles are the same for all cycling disciplines. So we want to learn leg speed, a proper pedal stroke, efficiency. And so right now, for example, in the workout, what everyone's doing is they're working at a certain power, their personal power, and then they're using cadence to change.
Is this number right here?
Cadence is here.
Okay.
And what they're going to do is I want you to just push it up now and see what it does with the power. And so what we're teaching you is to use some leg speed rather than just gears to increase how fast you're going.
But it's all over the place. I mean, I'm at 90, I'm at 110, I'm at whatever. So what is that saying about me?
It's because you don't have a very good circle. Oh, great. So we can work on that. You just have to visit us more.
And of course, we got lots of people here that are working at very different, I guess, levels, but everyone is maintaining their own cadence. So the exertion that's put out there, is that different for everybody?
Well, no, actually, the power levels that they're working at for the intervals, where they're given their own numbers.
Okay.
The cadence is, you know, part of the interval. We'll move around and give directives on the cadence. So actually, everybody in the room is doing the same cadence, but their power, which is a part of the equation that the cadence affects, is different. So Thomas next to you will be pushing at a bigger power number, but his cadence is the same as everyone else in the line.
Right, because he's got like 309 watts and 85 cadence. I've got 94 watts and 79 cadence. But well, look how sweaty he is. He's clearly working out a lot harder than me. Yeah. For anyone that's heading out there today too, and they're looking at going, I want to do the Grand Fondo, you know, that's coming up in September. Is it too late for someone who's just getting into cycling at this level to train for something like that?
Oh, not at all. With a little bit of good advice and spending some time out on the bike, this gives a really good, quick, efficient way to learn some technique. We also do outdoor riding, because you do need to know what it's going to be like to be in a big group. But by all means, you could ride the Grand Fondo if you start today.
They say I could do it, Jody. They say I could do it. I know Riaz is thinking about it. For anyone out there that wants some little extra coaching, whatever the discipline, go to the website coming up on your screen. I'm going to keep working out just to look half as good as this guy right here. Thanks so much for your time.
Dawn, how long has Thomas Haas been on that bike?
How long have you been on that bike now? He's been on what, about 2 hours? He gets paid overtime is what he says he does.
Clearly,
we came this morning.
Clearly he's not only the king of chocolate, but he's the king of the road. Thank you so much, Don.